It started off with me just telling scary stories, with me just telling y'all things that I wrote and, putting a little music behind it. I figured that, I was the only one from where I'm from doing this kind of stuff, so maybe it'll catch on. But I had no idea what I was really doing. I was really creating a family. It's a lot more than just me running my mouth or saying some junk that sound good. How did it get this far? How did I get to this point? Sometimes I sit back and wonder. Part of the reason I got where I got is because of y'all. I wouldn't trade y'all for the world. Ain't nothing in the world more valuable than all 1,400 of y'all. When I was young, like about 3 or 4 years old, my parents decided to move from the city to a suburban town called Woodford. Now you see, my daddy at this time, he got this big promotion at this job, which meant more money. That meant we could afford a better place to live, man. So we finally did what everybody always said they wanted to do: move up out the hood. And now the reason why my parents chose Woodford was because one of my daddy's co-workers also lived up in there and said it was a decent place to raise a family. Schools was better, had more parks and stuff like that. So, that's all my parents needed to hear, man. So after a few months of searching and planning, my folks packed up the family car and we drove out there and settled in a nice old house on this real quiet street. Had a good sized backyard. I had room to run around and play. And growing up on the street, man, we ain't really had no, you had like your little square. Everybody had their little square, because the houses built right next up on each other, man. So having a yard like this, we had enough room to throw the football, run out there, run routes, throw the Hail Mary. Had enough room to play dead man pickup. Now, for y'all that don't know, dead man pickup is a football game where you just throw the football up in the air, and whoever catch that mug, you just tear them up, man. Whoever touched the ball getting tore up. So we finally had room to do, all that kind of stuff, man. Now, Woodford was and still is a good sized town. And, it's a good place, man, especially for the kids and all that. We had a little mall, a few movie theaters, a couple of bowling alleys, plenty of parks and stuff, like I was saying. Hold on, man. Let me turn my phone on mute, because somebody keep calling me. They know I'm trying to tell y'all stories. I don't know what you're calling me for. Maybe they don't know, but, right now I'm with my family, man. I'll call y'all back. So anyway, so my friends and me, man, we never really got bored, man. We always had something to do. Now, it was one thing that me and my friends did, and it still, man, that junk still creep me out to this day, man. Now, just outside of town, it's this stretch of road called Red Bridge Road. It's like a 13-mile, 2-lane road that cut through this real thick forest, and it connect the country road to the south and the state highway to the north. Now, along this road, there's this red covered bridge that crosses a creek at the halfway point, which is how the road got its name. Now, just north of the bridge, there's a few old houses all on the west side of the road. Now, I heard a whole bunch of stories about this road and how it was just like a magnet for the supernatural, man. Everything from people seeing Bigfoots and stuff to UFOs, witches and they little witch groups and stuff. It's all that kind of stuff, man. Now, one of the stories was the Axeman. This axe wielding ghost that was out for revenge or something, man. And he haunted the south end of the bridge. Cause the south side always the worst side, man. It never fails, man. But anyway, I heard about this ghost when I was a junior in high school. My friend Cynthia, or my girlfriend, that was my girl at the time. My two friends, Maddie and Kevo, man, they was having lunch in the cafeteria when Matt spoke up and said, man, hey, why don't we drive out the Red Bridge, man, and go looking for the Axeman tonight? So then Cynthia come in and said, who the Axeman? Now, Cynthia had moved to town a year before and hadn't heard too much of the urban legends that made their rounds around Woodford or whatever. Now, Matty got all excited and prepared to go into his story mode. Matty, he think he could tell a story better than me, but he wrong, man. Can't nobody tell a story better than me, man. Now, so Kevo, he just roll his eyes, man, because he already know what time it is. He like, oh, man, here we go again. So Matty kicked the story off. Man, back in the early 1970s, it was a man who lived alone in one of them old houses on Red Bridge Road, right? Now ain't much known about him, but many people believe he chose to live alone because he had some time in prison for abusing his family. Now, when he got out, he found life on the outside was worse than when he was in prison. Now, he ain't had no family to go back to, and his friends ain't want nothing to do with him, and he couldn't get a job like the one he had, and he had to set on pumping gas down at the local gas station. They used to call it a service station back in the day. Now, because of his past, everybody in town just pretty much looked down on him. So he took to living in one of them houses, man, just being alone. Only coming in town to work and buying some groceries or something. So now as soon as he was settling in, he took to walking along the road at night, just to clear his head and try to figure out, where he would go from there. And it was during one of these walks that somebody killed him. What happened to him? Cynthia asked. Matty just smiled and continued on, man. He was walking along the road at night as usual, and he just crossed the bridge, heading south when a man came out from behind the shadow with an axe. Now, before he could react, the killer got him with 2 shots. Flop, flop. The first blow took off a good part of the left side of his face, and the second one hit him right up in the chest, killed him right on the spot, man. And nobody know who the killer was. Some say it was a deranged serial killer who killed the victims with an axe, and others say it was just a relative of his ex-wife who thought the man got off too easy and took matters into his own hand. Now, whoever it was, they were never caught. And since the ghost of that man, like, is still walking around, right around the bridge, man. You go to that bridge at night, you see him holding an axe, looking for his killer, trying to figure out who did that to him, so he take out anybody who cross his path. Straight up, just like that. Now, when he finished his story, Cynthia just sat there for a moment, man, just sitting there before she said anything, man. And then she said, that sounds scary. Yeah, that's pretty freaking scary, man. I done seen a lot of scary movies, but the way you just told that thing was scary, man. Maybe we should go out there. So now he looked at her with surprise. He said, girl, you for real? You ain't, you said you scared. And she just said, look, I don't believe in no ghosts. Even if that man is real, he can't, if he real, he can't hurt us if we in the car. We just stay in the car. So we all say, yeah, we go check it out, man. The worst we thought could happen is we get bored just sitting in the car, or the police stop us, one of them state troopers or something. They had their little headquarter thing at the edge of the town. So if that happened, we just tell them, we tell them we just out there to see the X-Man. No, we ain't gonna tell them we saw the X-Man. They gonna think we out there high. We can't say that, man. So we made plans to meet up at Matty's house at Sim. And me and Kevo had basketball practice, and we had this big game against Greenmont coming up. And our coach wanted us to stay sharp for the game, so Cynthia had a little history project to do, because girls always take care of they take care of their business in school, boy. Girls do not play, boy. So now we met up at Maddie's house. We all piled up into that Mustang he had, man, and drove out the Red Bridge. Now, even though, it was a good night, man, it was real dark, though, in the woods along the path. And so Maddie had turned them high beams on just so he could see up the road. I guess the trees covered up the little moonlight or whatever. Now, soon, that covered bridge came into view, and Maddie stopped the car, put it in park. Now, Red Ridge wasn't used very much, if at all, man, especially with the interstate on the other side of town. And nobody lived in all them old houses on the north side of the bridge in years. So we were safe just being in the middle of the lane. So then 10 minutes went by. Then 20 minutes, then 45 minutes. Finally, before we known it, we've been there a whole hour. So I'm like, man, this junk suck, man. We been here an hour and ain't seen nothing, man. And Kevo and Cynthia, they both agreed. And I was like, come on, Maddie, man. The X-Man just a myth, okay? That's what Kevo said. And even if some guy was murdered by an axe killer, why would his ghost carry the same weapon he was killed with? Cynthia said. Maddie shrugged and said, maybe he hoping this killer will return to the scene of the crime so he could, return the favor. Anyway, come on, y'all. Just 5 more minutes, man. If nothing happened, we can go home. Maddie just had his mind made up, boy. So I told him, all right, man, you 5 more minutes, man. And after that, we gonna get up out of here, man. Gosh, dog. Shoot, I ain't trying to sit here all dang night, man. Now, just as I said that, we saw a figure, man, walking across the bridge. At first we thought we kind of might have been tripping. Maybe it was a animal or something, man, a dog, a deer or something, man. But there gotta be something down there. So now the bridge was long and the high beams didn't shine all the way through. Now it appeared to be a man, after they started getting a little closer. He had this big heavy coat on, man. It looked like a cowboy hat or something. It looked like he was carrying something long in his hands. And it was hanging down, kind of dragging it almost. Now we all just sitting there staring, man. And that figure getting closer, like he was moving slow, but he was moving fast at the same time. Now when he started coming into the range of the high beams, we saw the man's legs. He had on this worn black work boots, man, blue jeans. And when he came closer, we all screamed, man. The man was wearing a big, heavy coat, man, and it's soaked in blood, man. And the blood was just oozing from his chest, man. He had this big old gash up in his chest, man. But his face, his face was even worse, man. It might have been a decent looking face at one time, man. Had nice little mustache and stuff going on, but the left side of his face was a mess, man. That junk would toe up from the floor up, sort of, for real, man. That whole side of his face was just smashed, man, bloody. It had this big hole smashed into the side of it. And under the hole, you could see his jawbones, man, and his teeth, and blood and stuff was all over his teeth. And he held that old axe, man, rusty axe handle, all, worn out, man. And we said, bro, that's the axe, man. That ain't no costume. That ain't no joke. You can't even look. You need some dang CGI to do them kind of effects. That's the axe, man. Now, before we knew it, that man was right at Matt's window, man. And he swung that mug back and shattered that driver's side window. And it went through the window and almost hit Matt. And Matty let out this big old high-pitched girl scream, man. And at this point, we all screaming, man. And Kevo, he was in the front with Matty, man. He like, bro, we got to get out of here, man. So you ain't need to tell him twice, man. He was already putting the car in reverse and peeling out, man. And as we did that, the axe man got ready to make another blow, man. But the axe came down on the hood as we pulled away. Tires made a loud screech, and that axe just tore a long gash up in the hood, man. I couldn't believe it, man. The road was straight, so he just kept speeding backwards until we finally reached the country road. It was only then that he turned around and put the thing in drive, man. That man was shook, bro. Straight up. Now, we did tell the police that we were attacked, but, we ain't tell them that it was a ghost, man. Because we already know they gonna drug test us. We tell them that junk. They gonna think he was driving under the influence. We tell them we got attacked by a dang ghost. And then, especially if you say ghost, they gonna be like, well, how could a ghost hit the car? Ain't a ghost supposed to go through the car? So how could he swing an axe and actually tear the car up? See, that junk sound crazy. Just me saying it, man. So, we just told them some crazy man out on Red Bridge messed with us, and they said they'd check it out, but none of it came of it. We ain't never heard nothing back. At least they probably ain't even really go out there. Or if they did go, they waited till the morning to go, because everybody heard the ghost stories out there, so cops ain't that brave, man. So, and if they did catch him, I'm glad that, I'm glad they didn't even try, man, because, he a ghost, man, so I guess he can't, I guess he could go through the walls if he wanted to. I guess ghosts just pick, what they want to do, man. So if he can go through the walls, they probably go through the handcuffs and go through the back seat of their car and go through the bars in the prison. So I'm glad they didn't catch him, man, because it would have really jacked him up. And it took a little while for Matt to get his car fixed, man. His dad told police, we told him, so he ain't get grounded, but he did have a stricter curfew for a few weeks. And we never brought that junk up, man. It's my first time talking about it, so yeah, man, I ain't brought that up. So I hope y'all can feel my pain on this one, man. That junk still haunt me to this day, man. Okay, I got another story for you, okay? Now, someone once said that life a trick. But me, I say life is a stanky, bald-headed trick. A stanky, gap-tooth, bald-headed, dog-mouth trick that don't live for nothing but death and destruction and pain and suffering, man. Ain't I'm telling the truth, though. It's just from the moment we born, it's already determined when, where, and how we die. And I always thought I lived to be old age and go peacefully in my sleep. But it ain't turned out that way, man. I glowed up in Florida, with only two kinds of weather, man, sunshine and rain. I worked for this big tech company, and I worked up out the Tampa office. And one day my boss called me into the office and told me I'm promoted, man. I was all excited and that's great, man. I've been working hard and I appreciate you recognizing my hard work, man. And I'm just a company man and I want to do all I can for the company and all that. I'm talking all that good junk, right? So then my boss spoke up and said, now there's a catch though, you'll need to move. Now at first I wasn't too worried, there's several offices up in Florida. So I thought that, I'd be going to one of them offices, man. So where I be going, I asked, Jacksonville, Lando, Fort Lauderdale, which one? He said, my boss just shook his head and said, I need those, we got a position up in Minneapolis. I sat there looking stupid in the mug, man. Minneapolis. All that good work office talk went out the window, but I'm like, Minneapolis? You mean like Minneapolis in Minnesota? My boss gave me this little weird little smile, man, with a laugh and said, "Is there any other Minneapolis?" Man, I started to say, "Is there any other way I should crack your head open, trying to be funny?" She finna send me to dang Minneapolis, man. I don't know one person. I ain't never met nobody that said, "Yeah, I'm from Minnesota." Yeah, I bet y'all ain't either. Y'all ever? I bet some of y'all live in Minnesota. Ain't never even met nobody from Minnesota. Who the heck lives in Minnesota, man? It's cold as a polar bear toenail. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I ain't happy about that junk, man. And but I did have a cousin who lived like in I think, I don't know, Detroit or something, man. He stayed right up there somewhere, man. One in Minneapolis. I think he stayed in Detroit, man. And he told me, man, it was so cold up there in the winter, boy. He said it was so cold, if you spit, that junk be froze before it hit the ground, man. But I had to support my family, and me and my wife just keep having kids. So, I just said, baby, we gotta go. We keep having kids because I think she lied to me about getting the IUD put in. I'm like, bro, you got an IUD. Ain't no way we supposed to keep having kids, man. She be lying, man. She trying to make me have a bunch of kids so I don't leave her, man. Because you know what the old school guys say, right? It's cheaper to keep her. Cheaper. It's cheaper to keep her. But anyway. Now, me and my wife moved with our kids and everything. And at first it wasn't too bad, man. The spring and the summer, and even the fall, it's pretty nice, man. But when winter came, that junk came hard, man. Man, the first day of winter, it snowed like crazy. And that Saturday, I spent the whole day almost shoveling from the driveway, from the sidewalk. Gosh, man, it was terrible, man. And I lived in Florida my whole life, man. So I ain't never had to shovel all this white stuff, man. Only white stuff you see in Florida is cocaine, man. When I came in, my body was just hurting, man. So I took a nice warm bath and just sat up in my lazy boy recliner, watching Netflix on my 80-inch. And, just dozing off like an old man. And come Sunday, I was still worn out, man. I ain't even get up and go to church, man. Hey, that's strange for me, man. My wife and the kids went. I ain't go, but I tell you what, I wish I did go, man. 'Cause Monday come, and the streets and roads all been cleared, man. So I was feeling better by then. My body wasn't hurting a little. I was still a little sore, but not as bad as it was. So I got up in my silver little Lexus, and I, made my way to work, man. Slipping and sliding a little bit, but I was starting to get the hang of driving on the snow. And when I got there, man, I was still a little bit early, and I got out of my car and made my way to the building. Then it happened, man. I had only gone like a few feet when I stopped, stepped on a patch of ice. It happened so fast, man. My foot slipped out from under me, and I fell backwards, and my head hit that pavement, boy, and I could hear the crack when my head hit, but I was out of it, though. But I heard that crack, though, man. Now, I woke up in a daze, man. My vision was still hazy, and my head hurt like a trick, man. And when my vision cleared, I was confused, man, because in front of me was this red Cadillac. Now, this was strange because I could have sworn the car parked in the space across from me was a dark blue Aura. A Saturn Aura, man. You remember when you see a Saturn, man. You don't see no dang Saturn too often, man. So I shook my head. I was like, dang, man, I must have banged my head hard, man. Ooh, I can't remember what. I felt my head in the side, from that nasty bump, man. There wasn't no blood. I had a hard head, man. So it take a little more than some pavement and a good slip to bust my head open, man. So, I just shrugged it off, man, and went in the office, man, and saw the receptionist. They had a little nurse on staff, so maybe she'd take a look at it, man. So I was like, hey, it's a little spot in the parking lot with some ice, man. That junk need to be taken care of. Man, I slipped on it and bust my head almost, man. Can you get somebody out there and put some of that salt stuff on it or something? And she ain't answer me. She just kept on typing. And I'm like, excuse me. What's up, you don't hear me? So I'm standing there clapping my hands. Excuse me. Do you hear me talking to you? Huh? Man, okay. Alright. The lady ain't even blink, man. So I finally got mad. I went up in the office. I said, I just go to work, man. Somebody else slipped. It's on her. Because I did what I was supposed to do. I ain't going out there and fixing it. I'll be done slipped again, man. So I tried saying hey to people, man. You know, everybody ignored me. And I couldn't figure out why. So I guess I'm just invisible in this mug, huh? And I guess I'm just freaking invisible, huh? And I guess can't nobody see my big black behind walking through this place then, huh? Alright, y'all. Okay. I got to my desk and I saw this strange man sitting at my desk I ain't never seen before. Had this meat sitting in my seat, man. I said, bro, get your meat out of my seat, man. You gonna get your butt out of my seat right now, man. Whoever you is. Why you at my desk anyway? So I said enough is enough, man. He's sitting there like he don't hear me. I went up into the boss office, man. I stormed in that, man. Now at first, you know, I thought he, you know, acknowledged me because he got up, but instead, you know, he walked past me and closed the door. You know, mumbling something to himself about the draft or something. He was drafting here and sat down. Now I'm beyond mad, bro. I'm mad, man. I stormed out of his office and I ain't closed the door either, man. And I'm confused, man. What do they like? They trying to play a joke on me? This ain't no April fools. You know what y'all think y'all doing, man? Nobody got time to play around this mug. I just busted the back of my head almost open, man. Now when I got to the parking lot, cause I was like, bro, I'm going home, man. My Lexus went out. You know, like a dang Nissan Pathfinder sitting there, man. Then I tried looking for it. I couldn't find it, man. I called the police. Somebody must have stole it. My phone wouldn't work. So I just went and got on the bus, man. And I headed on home, man. I tried calling the police. You know, I called for the house, man. I don't know. Maybe, I guess they must have came and repoed my junk. I don't know how. I'm only 3 months late. Dang, they gonna repo me after 3 months? Shoot. Man, my uncle, he rode around with his car. He ain't paid on the note for 2 years, man. He ran that mug around 2 years, never paid, man. I know they ain't came and got me after 3 months. Man. Now when I opened the door, I was greeted by my little 3-year-old, man. And she came running up to me, smiling, shouting, Daddy, you're back. She ran up to me, gave me a big hug. I missed you so much. I hugged her like, hey, sweetheart, where your mama at? My little girl looked up at me and said, Mommy's in the kitchen. I'll go get her. And she ran to the kitchen and came out with my wife, dragging her with one hand and pointing with the other. Look, Mommy, Daddy's back. My wife seemed to look in my direction, but she looked like she was about to cry. Instead, I knelt down to her and said, Honey, don't you remember Daddy died a few weeks ago after slipping on that ice at work? I know it's probably a lot to understand, but Daddy went up to heaven. You know, you were at the funeral, remember? I'm sorry, baby. Okay, I got one more for y'all. It has started out like any other Friday. Let me see how long this mug is before I start. Alright, that ain't too long. Yeah, I go ahead and read it. Okay. So, started out like any other Friday. I worked at a factory that make machine parts. And the work week ended and we all got our pay. That's the setup, right? These jobs paying you on Friday. That's how they make sure you keep coming back. See, they pay you on Friday because they know Friday night, if everybody home and the kids ain't got school tomorrow, you have your wife off if she work, whatever. Everybody finna be off the next day. So everybody go out. Bam, they know that. Then they know Saturday when you wake up, everybody's home, so you're gonna want to go do some kind of activity. Bam, you go do an activity. You gotta eat, so you're gonna eat. Then they know come Saturday, everybody, somebody having a party or somebody want to go to the club that night, whatever. Bam, Saturday come, you going out again. Then they know Sunday, you got worship in the morning, so you gotta take your little money out for you gotta take your money out for offering. So you done took your offering money out. So now by the time you do that, you still, you got Sunday, everybody wanna go out again for, everybody wanna go to the buffet after church. Golden Corral and all that after church, get out. And in Chicago is Old Country Buffet. I don't even know if they still got Old Country Buffet up there. But everybody wanna go Golden Corral when church get out. So soon worship over with, you go over there. By the time you done with that, so come Monday morning, you ain't even got enough money to go to make it to work, man. So, it's all a game, man. But anyway, now those that don't have families, they go straight home. And now the single guys, they go out, man. They might head to the bar. If they got a girlfriend, they take her out on a date with them and all that. Now, me, I had previously had a girlfriend. We broke up a month before. So I decided to join. Snap. Excuse me, y'all. I'm getting tired, man. So I decided to join a few of my coworkers and go to the nearby bar and watch the basketball game, man. Now, so my coworkers and I, we had a pretty good time. Just drinking, laughing, watching the game, calling bull at a few of the bad calls the ref made. But, we enjoyed ourselves. The game went to triple overtime. The home team finally winning by 2 points, man, with the winning shot right at the buzzer, man. Now, look, man, before I go on any further, it's just killing me that we don't have no basketball right now, man. I can't believe that I'm living in a time where there's no basketball, man. I've been watching basketball all season long, and I think I already said this in another video, but I just can't believe that we don't have basketball right now. It's nothing better than you ain't got nothing to do on Saturday and the games come on, and then when you get up out of church on Sunday, you got some more games on, and it's just nothing better than that, man. But I hope they come back soon. Hey, I got the Lakers. I got my money on the Lakers, even though the Clippers gonna win. So anyway, it was it was late when we got out, man, so we all went our separate ways, man. I got on the subway to head to the crib, and now the first part of the trip was uneventful until I got off at the stop to make a transfer to another subway line in order to get to the crib, man. So when I went to make my transfer, I heard a voice over the loudspeaker. It said the Eastern Heights local is delayed 5 minutes. I just stood there inside. It was a coffee vending machine in the station, so I got myself a little coffee, man. Take some of the edge off, because I was still a little toe up, man, Now, when the train finally came, I got on and I took a seat. Now, it was one old man in this big old wool coat, man. Some brown pants and a slouch hat, and he sat at the far end of the car. And he looked like he about half asleep, man. And other than me and him, that thing was empty, man. So I sat down on the other end and just let the general rock of the train let me relax, man. Now when the train stopped at another station, 2 more people got on. It was a man and a woman. The man was tall, about 6'4", black hair slicked back and dressed in a black trench coat over a black suit. The woman was a few inches shorter, so I guess she about 6'1", 6'2", and had curly, like red hair and a half, like one of them updos, man, and wearing some weird looking coat, man. The girl looked like a big camel, man, over a black dress. And they sat a few seats behind me, and the train started up again soon. Now, as the subway roared through the tunnel, I couldn't help the feeling that the couple was looking at me. Just, I could feel their eyes staring at the back of my head, man. And at first I thought it was just being, I was just being paranoid, and I just tried to take my mind off it. And I was just playing, little solitaire game and stuff on my phone, man. And I had almost got up over my paranoia when I heard the woman speak in this soft, soft little low voice, man. And she said, "What do you think, Munson?" The man who I figured was Munson said, "The guy in the front looks promising. Though the older one in the far end might put up less of a struggle, Griselda." When I heard that, I said, "Griselda? Girl, what kind of name you got? Grizzly bear mixed with Zelda? God, Griselda." Hey, y'all, any of y'all play Zelda growing up? Some of y'all might not know, man, but did any of y'all play Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask growing up? Even the Twilight Princess, man. Did any of y'all play that? Or the Link to the Past way, way back? Y'all, some of y'all might have Zelda like that game on Nintendo with the guy with the little green dress shirt on. The shirt, but it's like a dress too. And he got the sword and the shield and he like an elf. Boy, y'all just don't know, man. I will spend 6-7 hours talking about Zelda, man. But anyway, maybe I will one day. If enough of y'all who made it to the end, if you made it to the end, say something about Zelda so I know. And I'm gonna talk about Zelda. Now, when I heard that though, man, I'm thinking I'm about to get jumped on, man. So I'm like, bro, I hope this next station come, man. And I heard Griselda speak again. Yeah, the old man might be easy, but I like him fresh. But I think the guy might be a bit drunk to, he might not be able to defend himself. The man spoke up and said, "Yeah, you're right. The young ones are, indeed fresh." Now at that, I jumped up and started making my way to the door. I knew passengers aren't, really supposed to walk between the cars when the train was moving unless it was emergency, but they give you a little fine and stuff. But I gotta go, man. This was an emergency, so I started moving and hoping that, I didn't run out of luck and that the next few cars would be crowded, and maybe I could lose these people or something, man. And of course, a couple got up and started following me fast, man. Them big old long legs taking them big old steps, man. And all I could think about was getting through the door, and I just prayed to God that the next car would have some people in it, because this old man ain't gonna be no help, man. Just then I lost my balance and fell to the floor. Shoot, man. I watched as the man and woman came up on me, and I looked up at them, man. I could swear their eyes was red, man. And not red like you high, but the pupil part, man, the color part in their eyes was red, like blood, man. And I heard a loud pop, pop, and a couple fell to the floor and turned into dust, man. And I looked back and saw the old man holding one of them old double-barrel pistols, man. Like them old pirate guns, man. Like the one you had to, put the powder and stuff in yourself. Man. And The old man put it back in his coat and helped me up to my feet and said, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, brother, I'm good, man. What's this, man?" And I'm pointing at the two people. They turned into dust. Like, y'all ever seen Blade? Whenever Blade would kill one of the vampire people, they would like turn into that pile of dust. And the old man said, "Vampires everywhere, even in the major cities." And I was like, "Shoot, man, I'm all choked up, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. How you kill them?" Man said it was silver bullets. You see, it's not just werewolves that can be killed with silver. Vampires also can be killed with silver. Just then, the train pulled into the next stop. This is my stop, the man said. So he reached into his pocket and handed me a card and said, "If you're interested, here's where you can find me, and there's others who hunt down the undead." And with that, he left. Man, this guy's so intense, man. Every word coming out of his mouth is just so full of intenseness, man. So I sat down in the seat and looked at the card, and it read, A. Van Helsing III, Vassals of Heaven's Light, 3333 St. Peter Way. I think I might take Mr. Van Helsing up on his offer and leave my job at the factory, because I ain't never like it much anyway. You know, they don't pay nothing but $12, you know. So what the heck I'm gonna do with $12 now? I might well go hunt vampire, man. But you know, he was looking kind of bummy though. They might not pay much, or maybe he's looking bummy just for like his you know, what's it called? That's his way he stay in hide. Let's see, how much y'all think they pay? Hunt vampires, they gotta pay at least $20 an hour. Shoot, $20 an hour. Man, I'll hunt my own mama down for $20 an hour. Shoot, man, y'all just don't know. Don't let them get no benefits either, boy. Shoot, the only benefit at my job now is you get to steal a little something from time to time.